What's up, everyone? Today we're going to watch a game of Slam against ACCM. Two very good players playing on a rated match on Arabia. So ACCM's here in the blue, playing as Khmer. And Slam's in the red, playing as Britons. Obviously the Britons are really strong archer civ. Fast gathering sheep town centers, extra range on their archers. And an overall pretty good archer civilization. And Khmer is known quite a bit for being able to hide in houses. Doesn't need any buildings to build the next set of buildings or go up to the next stage, which isn't used too often, but maybe a little bit. Often more of a cavalry civ, but they do have essentially the full set of upgrades for skirms and archers and things like that. And they also do have elephants that are 10% faster speed. So every now and then, if you need some elephants to defend, I can help be a good tank. So it looks like ACCM's, and we'll speed up the Dark Age a touch, but got a map where nice side wood, maybe not nice, but okay. But he's got all his resources in every different direction. So wood's here, gold's in front, berries over here, stone over here. And in all honesty, if he needs to make a second lumber pit, it probably needs to end up over here, which is quite a ways away. So, but he does have nice close deer, which he's leveraging here to get some faster food in the early game. And he's got only 3 on wood. So you know what? Usually 3 on wood is an indication that you're going scouts. So, or at least some sort of fast feudal age type of strategy. So, and it looks like he is going to wall maybe this way and down here and then across if he does wall. Yeah, okay, he's already starting. Let's take a look at Slam's base here. So he did 4 on wood. He's done a mill. And as Britons, he is kind of started the wall in the front. He has a looking like a very nice map. Pretty easy to close that side. Maybe that's a little bit of a longer stretch to close. But back wood. Maybe that is front berries. You know what? I'd say it's actually an alright map. It's not amazing. But the gold is definitely away from your opponent, which is very helpful. And it's also nice when your golds are in 3 different spots, because it gives you that flexibility down the road. And it looks like ACCM does have a back gold here and a back stone. So at least stone won't be an issue down the road. Let's turn the score on here. So I don't see... Okay, there's the barracks. So I think Slam is going for men-at-arms here. Yep. And a second lumber camp. So it's going to be a pretty normal strategy of men-at-arms into archers, probably. And from ACCM, he's walling a little bit here. And he is going fast feudal and probably straight into scouts, I'm going to guess, or maybe range. Scouts, okay. So that army is coming forward. And ACCM seen an opportunity to almost kill the militia, essentially. He's going to get it, yeah. Good idea. If you can limit it to 2, now it doesn't even make sense to get the men-at-arm upgrade. And in all honesty, 2 militia is a lot less intimidating than 3. Oh, and especially when you get very nice micro by ACCM there. Dropping that house and garrisoning to take off half the hit points of the scout. And there you can see Slam building his archery range. Sorry, first archery range. Definitely going for archers. I'm not sure why ACCM's doing that, but I guess he was probably busy pre-walling a home after he hit the attack button, which makes sense. These are on low food counts, but he still has probably a good 2 minutes, a minute maybe, before oh, he gets... That's why he did it. He knew he was having a second scout go there to do a counterattack. Very smart by ACCM here. Picked off a villager. But you obviously got to be careful now, and I think now's where you decide to go back. No, he decides to go in. Alright. I guess if you realize you're safe at home, you might see if there's any stray villagers walling or any other spots you can do a little bit of damage. And Slam is being careful here and making sure he pre-walls or walls his villagers in. And ACCM realizes this on his berries and quickly adds another layer of tile. Essentially making sure he's safe at the moment. And just focusing on his enemy. Now, will he get the hit here? Yeah, I think he's going to take a hit or 2. Takes down a scout. And it's tough when you realize this is on low food count as well. You gotta watch that a little bit. But I think he's got enough scouts to clean this army up without it being a big deal. So the other thing I will highlight, though, is Slam does have archers coming. If you get to the spot where you have a couple spearmen and a couple archers, and there is no, no archery range from ACCM, it can be a big deal, especially if you come around this way. But it does look to me like ACCM is going to clear up this army right now. And goes for the scout first, which is a good idea. You want to make it so Slam can't scout or see your strategy later on. And then, yeah, just picking off the militia here. He's not even going to bother. Yeah. So it does look like Slam is going to do the box strategy, or whatever you want to call it. Where it's I don't know what the formal word for it is, but it's become more and more common to do a very small amount of palisade walls close to your base, because they're relatively inexpensive. And when you have archers, you essentially can always defend behind your walls. So it's a good way to be safe, and I'm actually going to recommend this strategy if you're a new player, or not even new. Even if you're an experienced player, you're 1,000 rated, you're 1,500 rated, you're 500 rated. I'd encourage you, try this out. You don't have to wall right away, but slowly wall in your base in a box like this. It makes it a lot easier to defend, and at least when you get attacked, you'll have that warning sign. It's, as you can see, even from this game, even at a high level, this is a good strategy. So obviously, it's nice not to be ranged by enemy ranged units, but Slam also knows that his opponent is going scouts, right? So essentially, this is a way to nullify the scouts. In fact, you could even attack if you wanted, and just use villagers to repair or build behind your walls. But it looks like Slam is focused more on just going up to the next stage here, and let's see what ACCM is doing. Oh, he's focused on going up to the next stage even faster. He's building a couple skirmishers just to make sure he doesn't get surprised by some archers. And he's walling in, basically a similar type strategy, but a little further out, which gives him some more warning time if anything comes to attack. And these two skirms are going in kind of a way that they'll see anything that comes before it gets here, so that's helpful as well. It looks like they're going on the offense as well. Now, from Slam's side, he's just camping. Let's speed this up a touch, because as you can see, easy to defend behind your walls. And if your opponent doesn't react, they'll lose a bunch of scout hit points like that. Maybe even a scout. Okay, no, just barely no, but at least ACCM. And ACCM, what he's doing is he's testing the walls to see, okay, what's Slam doing? Does he have an army? How big is the army? A lot of questions you want to have answered. And if you have more information about your opponent, that's going to help. At the same time, he's also upping faster. And I like this because he's essentially, if you keep an eye on your opponent, you have the option to do both. If your opponent's coming forward with archers and you already have scouts, you add a bunch of skirms and get the upgrades. If they're not, you go to the next stage faster, and it looks like in this case he's decided to go a stable, second stable, so 2 stables. And also has the flexibility to build another house wall and close this off really easily, so... And watching this very closely, hopefully. Ooh, taking some hits. But being annoying with those skirms as well. And now, Slam has a decision to make. There's skirms on the field. Is ACCM going to go full skirms? And if he is, do you stick with archers? And it looks like Slam's decided, you know what? I'm sticking with archers here. He sees the skirms have no upgrades, so he knows that it's probably not a big deal if he stays with archers. Because it'll probably be cav coming. Like if you see, and this is sometimes why what you want to do if you're in ACCM shoes, is sometimes you want to retreat the skirms right before, while you're going to Castle Age, so that Slam doesn't know. And if he thinks it's pure skirms, like let's say 2 ranged skirms, he's going to have to add a stable or a siege shop in early Castle Age. But the other thing I want to highlight too is whenever you're going to the next stage, always take a look. Are you near housed? I'd actually recommend a villager building a few houses along here. Just good practice. He's building 1 here, but you know you want a little bit more room just because he's going monastery too. So this is how you know he knows there's knights coming even before he's seen this one. It's pretty obvious, judging by the skirms, that that's probably the plan. So monks are going to be good for gathering relics and also converting knights. Picks off the skirms there, and these have a ton of range, right? I mean, this is without even bodkins. They already got 7 range, so. Oh, okay, interesting. So ACCM has taken this opportunity, and he realizes what his opponent's doing. And instead of booming in a major way, he decided, you know what, let's go siege. Let's go put some pressure on these units here. Now, I wouldn't recommend taking a bunch of damage. I mean, I guess it's not a big deal, because it's not killing it too quickly, but you probably do want some... It's hard pushing siege against 8 range, too. In all honesty, if this was any civilization other than Britons, This would feel a lot easier, I think. But I guess his Scorpions also have 8 range, so not bad. You probably want a 3rd Scorpion, I think, yeah. Hops in the ram. You're not getting my villager. Good job. So good flexibility, moving back and forth here, taking some good shots. There's a lot of mid HP units here. If you got 3 Scorpions, you're really, you know, you don't want to be out here. But at this size, I think you're probably okay. Now, he is taking a couple losses here. And this is a tough decision. Do you fight or not? And I think this is a good idea for ACCM because the Scorpions are adding pressure onto this too. But in all honesty, it looks like ACCM will lose his army here. But he will have definitely taken that mass down in size quite substantially. It was 17, now it's 10. And he is getting some information. Okay, is Slam booming? No, he has a wood camp still here. He sees the seed shop, he sees the monk monastery. And he's also getting, he's realizing there's no ballistics, so he can run around quite a bit too. He's microing this army quite well. Now, he does get one of the mangonels. And, geez, Slam's going, or sorry, ACCM's going right for it. Says, screw it, I'm not letting you have a mangonel. He might lose a knight or two. Yeah, looks like he lost a knight. 2 knights, maybe. And 2 knights is pretty close to the cost of 1 mangonel, so in all honesty, it's not terrible there. And just the pressure that's being added. You know, he took a building out, he's killed a couple villagers, he's got 10 villagers garrison in here. Even though he might have lost more knights than he would have killed in value, just the distraction part of 10 villagers not working is probably worth it on its own, so. This is where games get very snowbally, I would say. So, if you lose a knight here and it kills the Scorps, you're in trouble. But if you bring the Scorpions over here and you kill the Woodchoppers, you're doing great. I would actually recommend against going for this mangonel with those knights, but he will kill it, of course. But at what cost? Because that knight is now killing 2 Scorpions too, so. But he's also getting the monks here. Maybe he'll lose one of these knights to. It's a messy act. A lot of action right here, I'm going to say. Very, very good play by both players so far. To keep their cool and, you know. He decided to build a TC here. He's like, enough of this, you know, let's make sure we're safe. Judging by the looks of it, I think 51 villagers for Slam. 56 for ACCM, you know, it's but Slam looks like he's slightly ahead in the military here. He hides the villager again, yeah. Good. Now, if you have this single knight and you're fighting a single knight, go get the Scorpion. More cost effective than killing a knight. But he might not make it there now it's on low HP. I guess he might go heal it, but I'd actually say the other part about this right now is it's kind of turned into a, you know, there was some pressure. It wasn't do or die pressure. You know, obviously ACCM built that second town center earlier on, and he added a 3rd here. So ACCM is a very good player at simultaneously attacking and booming. And I'm going to say there's, I don't know, maybe 10 to 15 players in Age of Empires that are good at that combination of activities and can consistently do both. And you do find even some of the players in the top 30 or 40, some of them just focus really good on one or the other. It's hard to do both consistently well, so. But looks like some good action here. And Slam's doing good defending here, and ACM definitely still has a presence. He's got some vision as well as a seed shop, and he's not adding much more, but in terms of the push, which makes sense. When you know your opponent has a couple of these defensive units, mangonels, monks, archers, town centers, you don't really want to focus on that anymore. Now you want to use this like a normal Castle Age and kind of boom at the same time as raid. And that's what ACCM is doing here, and as well as keeping some vision, because if Slam goes out and tries to build a town center anywhere too far outside this range, and this is where you want to delete your knights, because they're not going to make it out. Oh, I'm completely wrong. Both of them made it out. Anyways, you can tell that even doesn't matter your skill level, the RNG on monks is hard to predict. Okay, this is good timing. Okay, I was gonna say it's good timing for Slam because he was about to go back, but now this is really good time for ACCM because. And does he notice? He doesn't notice that quick, so he might get a villager or two, but not much more. He doesn't see the town center. Oh, he does, but he sees the walls, so he's just leaving it there. One extra scorpion for any amount of crossbows that come. So, and now let's look at the booming bid. He's got 34 farmers, 23 on wood. A very good diversified economy. He's got enough stone, which is smart to have right now. I'm not sure where he's going to build the castle, in all honesty, but I'd probably pick this hill, maybe? This hill? I don't know. There is 2 golds within range of this hill, so I'd probably pick this one. But this one feels more natural because you already have sight on it, and that's where you have a siege shop, so we'll see. From Slam's perspective, he's got 75 villagers, 4 town centers, a good boom going. And still making archers, and I think that's a good decision. Archers from Britons are very, very strong. A market as well, okay. And here's where you gotta decide. Are you gonna go more on stone? It looks like he is, because you do want a castle eventually. But do you go imp really quickly? And I think Slam will go imp and call it a medium time. He did add the 4th town center, which slows your imp time down a bit, but I think it probably makes sense here, because you're not gonna do a lot of damage. I didn't realize it, but ACCM is really ahead in the villagers. 107 versus Slam's, what, 83? 84? Yeah, so this castle, I mean, he's putting it a little forward, and I like that, because it ranges this gold mine, and this one's already exposed, so I think Slam, you know, it's one of those things you don't always recognize when you're in the heat of tons of action, or even when you're adding a bit of boom, but this is the last 3 tiles of gold here. You need a town center on one of these 2. So you need to have control at least to do that. And ACCM, I think, has been really smart about keeping a scorpion here, outposts here, some army, enough army to deal with anything that comes out here. And even though Slam's going to Imperial, it's going to be tough just because of that. That's a quite forward castle, too. And it looks like, you know, ACCM's adding light cav, and I'm a fan of this at this stage of the game. You get flexibility to raid, you get all the vision, you get to see the map. You know, he has quite a bit of the map scouted. Slam did okay too, but I think he scouted a lot of that earlier on. And this gets to be a, you know, Slam's building a castle here. Yeah, this is gonna be a tough one. I think Slam's up to imp first. I think if you know you're in a tough spot and you got 2 golds that you need to get, I think the castle actually has to go here, in all honesty. But just so you're kind of defending this gold, and also, if you lose the trap war, I think you're in trouble anyway. Especially if you look at the score. Sometimes you have to make decisions based on that. Yeah, it does look like he's getting a lot of idols here and housed. Yeah, so anytime you're losing a bunch of houses, you got to start building them. But he is preparing for the trap war. That's a lot on stone. 17 villagers. So he does realize that this could definitely be a trap war. Which is good to know right here. And let's see if ACCM is doing the same. I don't think he realized that, but he's also got cavalry, which can, even if you lose a trap war, you can always come and dive it and kill that. And obviously with the light cav, if you see monks now, it's not the biggest deal either. You send the light cav towards the monks and the knights towards the villagers, and some good quick walls from Slam here. It is still open up there, but I think I'd retreat if I was ACCM here. Okay, they both hit Imperial at the same time. Double crossbow, okay. Are you going... Oh, geez, he's going scorpions with his cavalry. Interesting. I don't see that very often. And plate barding, so it's, yeah, light cav and scorpions. That's actually a good idea. Khmer got the extra range on scorpions, and if you do taking 2 shots instead of 1, I like this from ACCM. Very smart style and strategy. I do think you want to expand a little bit for ACCM, which looks like he's doing right here. Grab this gold, grab this golden stone. He's done some scouting, which is very smart. He's covered this in outpost, which means Slam can't go out there without being spotted. And this side too, I think it's he's going on both sides. Cav going on this side, which is putting a castle on this hill. It's a very smart castle in my opinion. And you can see Slam going out here at the same time and immediately getting hit back by this cavalry, and maybe even taking some losses here. Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, that's gonna hurt. He is doing some conversions, and maybe you don't want to lose your army here, but I think ACCM was probably paying attention somewhere else for a second. Lose a couple knights, but he's still got control of this gold. Once that castle goes up, Slam's in major, major trouble. Even if you take this castle down, it's difficult to get this gold and this gold, which is basically a smothering type style. I highly recommend smothering your opponent if you have map control, and that's exactly what's happening here. Now, at the same time, while you're repairing, you might as well build your own counter traps and trap these down. I would recommend that for ACCM here, because you're going to need them anyway to kill the town center and the castles. So, and you have villagers to repair anyway. You might as well be making traps. This one can get conscription, but it's obviously, this is a minor point I would make, but still want to focus on the minor things too. So with how cheap Britain TCs are, I would have definitely recommended Slam use 2 villagers to build a town center here earlier. And you would have been aware of this castle going up then, and might have been able to bring the archers over and stop that at the time. And now, let's see how this fight goes. I'm really curious. Okay. Don't get to see it. I wanted to see this fight. Scorpions obviously probably do very well against Arbalest, and then there's a ton of Hussars here, so I think Slam realized, yeah, he's backed into a corner. He has no gold. Literally all his villagers just finished gold. He's not going to be able to trap this down without taking some heavy losses. And this side's covered by a castle, and there's raids here. So I agree with Slam. I think it's time to call it here. Very, very good play by ACCM, doing a simultaneous attack and boom in Castle Age. And even despite losing on the push, still using this to his advantage and eventually winning the game. So hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, smash the like button and hit subscribe, and we'll have more videos like this. Till next time, take care.